Hi guys, let's look at the homework questions for this exercise 2A. So it says calculate the amount on CI on 6,000 in 3 years at 5% per annum. So for year 1, interest would be equal to principal into rate into time upon 100, which is equal to rupees 300. For year 2, compound interest for year 2 would be equal to, so here amount 1 will be equal to 6,000 plus 300, which is 6,300. So compound interest for year 2 would be principal into rate into time upon 100, and 63 into 5, that 315. Therefore amount at the end of 2 years would be equal to 6,300 plus 315, that's 6615. For year 3, principal would be equal to amount 2, which is 6615. So compound interest for year 3 would be 6615 into 5 into 1 upon 100. Let's multiply 6615 multiplied with 5. So that's 5 into 5, 25. 5 plus 2, 7. 5 into 6, 30. That's 33. So this is 33075 divided by 100, which means rupees 330.75. Therefore, amount at the end of 3 years would be equal to 6615 plus 330.75, which will be equal to rupees 6,945.75. So that's the final amount. That's what the question wants. We also need to calculate interest. So compound interest will be equal to amount minus principal. In this case, 6945.75 minus 6,000, which is equal to rupees 945.75. Some calculation, otherwise the question is fairly simple. Let's look at the next one. That's question number 3, part 2. It says rupees 16,000 in 3 years when the rate are different for different years. So let's calculate for year 1. Principal for year 1 is 16,000 and rate for year 1 is 10%. So compound interest for year 1 will be 16,000 into 10 into 1 upon 100, which is equal to rupees 1,600. So amount at the end of 1 year will be 16,000 plus 1600, that's 17,600. Let's do this for year 2. So for year 2, we have principal for year 2 is 17,600. Rate for year 2 is given as 14%. Therefore, compound interest for year 2 would be 17,600 into 14 into 1 upon 100. So that's 176 into 14. That's again some calculation. 4 into 6, 24. 28 plus 2, 30. That's 4 plus 3, 7. And this is 6, 7, 1. 4, 6, 4, 2. So that's 2,464, which means amount at the end of 2 years would be 17,600 plus 2,464. That's 9 and 10. That's 20,064. Next, for year 3. For year 3, principal for year 3 is equal to amount for year 2, which is equal to 20,064, and the rate for year 3 is 15%. So compound interest for year 3 would be 20064 into 15 into 1 upon 100. I'll need some space to multiply, so let me just remove all this and let's now multiply. 20064 multiplied with 15. That's 5 into 4, 20. 30 plus 2, 32. This is 3, this is 0, and this is 10. This is 46002, and this is 069003. So this is divided by 100, which means rupees 3009.60. Perfect. Now we need to calculate the total amount. Amount will be equal to 20,064 plus 3009 plus 0.60, 9 plus 4 13, that's 7032. So this is equal to 23,073.60. So this is the amount at the end of 3 years. Next, we still need to calculate compound interest. So compound interest is equal to final amount minus original principal. In this case, 23,000 minus 6,000, that's 7,073.60 rupees. So that's the compound interest for 3 years. Done. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we have is question number 7. How much will rupees 50,000 amount to in 3 years compounded yearly if rates are 6%, 8% and 10%? Again, similar question for year 1. Principal is equal to 50,000 and R1 is equal to 6%. Let's calculate compound interest for year 1, which would be 50,000 into 6 into 1 upon 100. That's 500 into 6, which is rupees 3,000. So amount 1 will be equal to rupees 53,000. Let's calculate for year 2. So for year 2, principal would be 53,000 and the rate for year 2 is 8%. So compound interest for year 2 would be principal for year 2 at 53,000 into rate upon 100. So that's 530 into 8. That's 53 into 8. That's 424. So 4240. 530, 53 into 8. 8 into 3, 24. 42. That's correct. Right. So this is 424 with a 0. So amount at the end of second year would be equal to rupees 53 plus 4. That's 57,240. Next, for year 3. So for year 3, we have principal will be equal to 57,240 and rate is 10%. So compound interest for year 3 would be 57,240 into 10 into 1 upon 100, which is equal to rupees 5,724. That's compound interest for 3 years. They want to calculate the final amount. So amount 3 would be 57,240 plus 5724. That's 57240, 5724. That's 469, 62,964. That's the final amount which rupees 50,000 will amount to in 3 years. Next homework question was question number 8. Let's look at that question. It says Meena lends rupees 75,000 and compound interest for 3 years. Rate for the first 2 years is 15%. Rate for third year is 16%. We need to calculate the final amount. So for year 1, compound interest would be equal to principal into rate. First year is 15 multiplied with 1 upon 100. So that's 750 into 15 and 750 into 15 is equal to 11,250. Therefore, amount for year 1 would be equal to 11,250 plus 75,000, which is equal to 86,250. Let's look at for year 2. For year 2, compound interest would be equal to principal now, which is 86,250 multiplied with, okay, again for year 2 is also 15 multiplied with 1 year upon 100. That's 8625 into 15, which would be, let's do the calculation. So this is 8625 into 15 divided by 10. That's rupees 12,930 37.50, which means amount at the end of second year would be equal to 86,250 plus 12937.50, which works out to rupees 99,187.50. Let's do the calculation for third year now. For year 3, compound interest for third year would be equal to principal, which is 99,187.50, multiplied with rate for third year, which is 16% into 1 upon 100. Let's do this calculation. Multiplied with 16 divided by 100, and the value is rupees 15,870. So amount at the end of third year would be 99,187.50 plus 15,870, which is equal to 115,057.50. So the total amount that she gets, needle, at the end of 3 years will be 1,15,057.50. That brings me to the last homework question that I had shared with you, which is question number 12. It says, not 12, question 10. It says, find compound interest on 4,000 accrued in 3 years when rate of interest is 8% for first year and 10% for the second and third year. So for year 1, compound interest for year 1 will be principal multiplied with rate, that's 8 upon 100. That's equal to rupees 320. Therefore, amount at the end of 1 year will be rupees 4,320. Let's do this calculation for year 2. For year 2, compound interest would be equal to 4320 into 10 into 1 upon 100, which is equal to rupees 432. So amount at the end of second year would be equal to rupees 4,752. Right? So that's 2574. That's correct. Now let's do this calculation for year 3. For year 3, compound interest for third year would be 4752 multiplied with 10 multiplied with 1 upon 100, which is equal to rupees 475.20, which means amount at the end of third year would be 4752 plus 475.20. That's 0.207. 7 plus 5, 12. That's 8 plus 4, 12. That's 5227. Rupees 5227.20. Therefore, total compound interest is equal to final amount minus initial principal, which is equal to rupees 1227.20. Wonderful. That brings me to an end of the homework questions. Thank you so much. Take care. I'll see you with the next video. Bye bye.